Mexico City right now is like booming. Feels like what LA used to be, what New York used to be.
What is it about the culture that you think globally is so magnetizing?
People have style. Architecturally, it looks incredible. Mexico City is the city with most museums in the world. When you come here like me, you become kind of like ruthless. You become focused on business and the American dream and the hustle. Have you driven and you seen those buildings with the graffiti?
It's one of the most beautiful, living, breathing art pieces in the modern world.
Kids want to see new things. Right now, the energy is in new up-and-coming designers, new collectibles.
So I think we're all rocking and rolling here. So we are back at Rcnstrct Brick and Mortar with the man, the myth, the legend, Miguel.
That's right,
Episode.
Midsummer.
We got some stuff to chat about. We decided real quick to kind of give a little bit of a format to the show. We're going to see if it works, right? A little bit of a format, and we'll see if it works out this time. We'll keep going. But I guess the first topic really just to come out with is what's happening at Rcnstrct. Because like since we last had our last podcast, was a couple months ago, there's been a bunch of different things in different directions, and you've done a bunch of stuff because you've got more going on than just Rcnstrct with what you're connected with too. So like what is new here as both pertaining to the store and the brand and what you're doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, we had all these other plans, but so many social things happened, like the fires and like just crazy stuff's been happening. Like, you know, people are getting picked up from the streets. So business has been changed a lot. So our lease is done here. We're month to month, and the owner of the building's been kind enough to allow us to stay and hang in there, try to maybe stay in the store or not. But while that happened, we expanded and moved into a bigger factory, into the same factory that my wife and her brother have their space. So now we have like a compound that we basically could do all kinds of stuff. And we're going to build a showroom, and we're going to have appointments at Rcnstrct/Scott & Scott. You know, they manufacture stuff for celebrities and for a bunch.
So like if somebody hits you up, a celebrity, they're going on tour, they want to outfit, they're going to go downtown to the factory, you're going to fit them there. You're going to maybe do some custom tailoring right there on the spot.
That's Rcnstrct.
That's Rcnstrct.
Stylist calls me and they need like an emergency or pieces or low quantities, limited editions, really work pieces, you know. My wife's business is more of, they do production for people. Like they make production for lines. They also did like Kendrick Lamar's like outwear and for the Super Bowl, and like J Balvin's like thing, and they have a bunch of brands that they work with. But they did Rihanna and Beyonce, you know, halftime shows, and they're doing some special force shit. I don't know, I can't keep up, but they basically do a lot of cut and sew for a lot of brands. I'm more in the more one-of-a-kind pieces and more artsy stuff. So there was a space available there. So we kind of like decided to to join forces, and it has a really nice parking lot. So hopefully we'll have like the brands that they work with and I and our friends come and do like a little community thing down there in downtown. So I'm excited about that. So we've been working on that while Melrose was going through so much. But now it's summer, it's picked up. We're having a little art show, and we're gonna have Kill Will DJ in, and
Kill Will.
We're gonna start just trying to build some energy to LA. And while we're here, we don't know how long we're gonna be here. Well, if we're not here, we're gonna find another space. But while we're here, we're gonna try to keep doing stuff. You know?
Well, okay, interesting, because you said build energy. There's a lot of weird energy going on, as you mentioned. There's ICE raids. There's all types of political stuff, both in the country and in the city. Like it's interesting because in LA, I find, particularly in Los Angeles, there are a lot of battles being fought, right, in many different layers of society right now. But at the same time, you go out in the streets and it's like kind of feels empty for July to me. Like I don't know. I remember coming here years ago, and like there are big parties every weekend. Somebody's backyard, there's a barbecue at the skate ramp. Either I'm getting older and I ain't getting those invites, or I don't. But like, where's that? I don't know. I remember, like, I just feel like this is the summer without parties. That's what it feels like.
And it's just like, for example, in downtown, normally you're stuck in traffic. You can't park. None of the people that I work with, some of the people are like running at 50% capacity because they're not able to, they're scared to go to work. So they're like, yeah, I'm good. I'd rather just miss the summer and not work, and this goes away. Like the markets are empty. Like the
Santos.
Yeah. The Santee Alleys is one of my biggest inspirations, just because I see all kinds of people with and low budget things, and there's so much energy. I mean, it's like maybe an extension of Mexico, right? And it's empty. Like a lot of the places went out of business. It's really crazy what's happened. On the other hand, I just got back from Mexico City. I went to ComicCon, and then I went to Sneaker Fever in Mexico City. And Mexico City right now is like booming. Like the food is incredible. My friends have restaurants and they own stores, and it's just people. It feels like old school LA, like New York. Like I feel like Mexico City is becoming kind of like what LA used to be, what New York used to be, what Tokyo and Paris used to be. Like as far as the energy, I think it's like the belly of the world right now.
Really?
It's been like 2 years, and I'm just saying, if you guys have a chance to go to Mexico City, right now it's the time. The food is incredible. It's safe. I can't tell you if it's safe than anywhere else in Mexico City.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting though, because at the same time, there is a bit of a clash happening in Mexico City as well. We saw a couple weeks ago, the motherfuckers were pissed, breaking glass and shit.
It was 4th of July.
Oh, interesting.
And Trump just said that, was like all these things were saying. So because there's so many people from all over the world coming in. I remember 20 years ago, I would go to Paris and you would see cars on fire because people were complaining of the amount of tourism. But now, I mean, basically the city survives on tourism. So I think Mexico is going through all those things. And yeah, it was a video and it's probably a group of 50 people. It's not as big. I mean, social media is crazy. I was there and it was totally safe. They did mess up Rip and Dip and like Starbucks.
Yeah, why they do Rip and Dip dirty like that, man? You can go after Starbucks. Cool. Go after the Whole Foods. Break that shit open.
I know.
The Rip and Dip?
I don't understand why they would go after any business. Like I'm obviously with my peoples, but like when they come and rip up at Los Angeles and we have to board things, it's just people that are, being an opportunist. And like, remember like with COVID, like Sean's store and a lot of other stores undefeated got, we were lucky because we were Melrose and Martel, and basically when the cops pulled up, they were like leaning against our building. So we were blessed, but it just sucks. I understand, but I don't think that's the way to, I don't want to get into it, but obviously no small business owner wants to get their business destroyed for any cost, but
But it is fascinating. My friend just went to Guadalajara. I have other friends who are visiting other parts of Mexico. It seems like, I don't know why or how, maybe you could explain this to me, but there is a definitive cultural draw to Mexico, and from all the East Coast to the West Coast, Europe, there's a lot of talk about Mexico on the global scale, culturally, as some sort of Western capital of culture. And it's interesting to hear you describe it that way. I'm curious if there's any more, like what else has contributed to this rise? And Mexico's always globally had an iconicism to it and a character to it. It just seems like now more than ever, streetwear and skating and art, right? All the artists which are becoming internationally known, which are either Mexican or Mexican American. Like, what is it about the culture that you think globally is so magnetizing?
I'm glad you asked. So my dad met my mom being a tourist and trying to buy art. Americans have always gone to Tepoztlan, Cuernavaca, and like, for example, my friends' families, they all had like a vacation, houses in Acapulco. It was like a Riviera there. It was a dream, you know. So I got to live that, and so it was like that. There was a time that Mexico became unsafe. So that was probably some of the reasons that I moved from there. My store was getting robbed. I finished college. I moved to LA to try my luck, try to be a designer. But what's happening now is like, for example, I have friends that buy a piece of land in Mexico. They build their homes with the cool architect from Japan or from Germany. They live by the water, and their business and their lifestyles can maintain. They eat Michelin stars food everywhere in Mexico. They fly everywhere. I think the reason that LA is so stale right now is because there's so many freaking limitations of constructing beautiful architecture. Like, they blew out all this corner like 5 times in the last 7 years that I've been here. It's probably cost $1 million to do, and it's still wrong, you know. The infrastructure, everything is so hard to build. Like, people's homes take forever. Like, there's so many limitations. I'm guessing for film, the tourists are not treated well. When you come into the country, like, you're attacked. Like, I remember when I had my store in Melrose, I would have people from all over the world, and they would, like, honestly, that's how I'm here, because I survived and I made money out of all the tourism. Now they make it so hard for everybody to come in as a tourist and spend money. They're not welcome. In Mexico, dude, culturally incredible. The weather's incredible. The people are warm. The food is great. You can go and eat for $10 or for $1,000 and have a great meal, you know. There's so many architecturally beautiful places. Like, everything is like incredible and accessible for all kinds of people, and people are welcome. And yeah, there's people complaining, but most of the people that are complaining don't even live in those neighborhoods. It's a political thing, you know?
Yeah.
They're sponsored, I believe. You know, I don't live there. I'm sure a lot of people are mad, but the people that I know that are small business, like creatives, are very happy that they're selling way more lattes. They're selling way more retail. Their neighborhood's beautiful and clean and safe. Their security, you know? So that's just my opinion. And the city's so big over there, like, you know, and there's so many ways to get to the city that I don't think that people that are complaining ever lived in Polanco or Condesa, you know? Condesa and Polanco is like Silver Lake and Hollywood. So I think people that are protesting are not business owners, you know, or don't want to be business owners. They have the right to protest. That's the beautiful thing. But, I mean, it just sucks that they're destroying people's business.
Yeah. Well, also, you know, even if we're going to go farther back deeper, because I really like to get to the heart of what is it like on a metaphysical level, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, but it's like Mexico is maybe one of the more unique parts of the Western Hemisphere in that it has a large European influence. You can't deny that. It was a former Spanish colony, I guess, right? And French, but it also has this huge still continuously indigenous tradition population that makes its way all the way to the top, right? In the United States, that's not the truth, right? The indigenous population is...
My mom's indigenous.
And your mom, boom, perfect. So you have indigenous blood. You also are Spanish, you know, you're Spanish, you're Mexican, you're Russian.
My father was Russian.
So
was like French.
There's a cultural swirl, even demographically in Mexico, that, you know, while we have a million different cultures here, it seems like the innate nature and the innate identity to Mexico, which once you get there gets broken up to a million pieces, but globally, the innate identity is maybe one of the more unique and truly global identities in the Western Hemisphere in a almost natural way, right? Because the United States, we have lots of different demographics and cultures, but they've come through here as big boats of refugees, big, you know, just big groups of immigrants, you know.
All of you are saying, like, I remember the 90s, like, everybody, we were at the same thing, and it wasn't separated. Everybody was having a great time. I think that that politically, the reasons are political. And then to answer the first question, to go back to Mexico and why social media, you know, you look at TikTok and you're like, wait, they're eating like this, they're balling out like this, they're in a yacht, they're fucking Michelin stars everywhere. People have style. Architecturally, that looks incredible. How come it looks like Paris? How come they're eating for $100? How come? I mean, there's nice cars. Like, oh my God, they understand modernism and like everything. Like, it's the city. Mexico City is the city with most museums in the world. Like, people are educated, and on the weekends they go as families. It doesn't matter from what status they are. They go to the museum, you know, and check out art. So it's great. It's, in a weird way, it sucks because everybody's going there, and it's kind of like a hidden gem. But I'm just happy for the people that are making money, and that and a lot of Americans are there. Like, when I landed, 90% of the people that were going through customs weren't Mexicans coming back home. They were all Americans.
So do you think that's a good thing, though, right? And everybody has their opinion. Is it a good thing? I typically think yes. Is it a good thing that, imagine that the border, both physical and, metaphysical between Mexico and the United States becomes less and less and less. Imagine that just one day it's just like, you know what, y'all can just go back and forth. Y'all can come up here, but guess what, Americans, y'all can go all the way fucking down to the bottom tip of Mexico too. Imagine that day comes.
But look,
does that help? What does that do to Mexico? Do you think that's a good thing? The more amount of free flow from the continent, or do you think that waters things down?
I just think that, like, people have no idea how much we help each other. Like, there's so much help. Like, there's so much exchange of things happening back and forth. Like, there's so many people that live in Tijuana that come here, and there's so many Americans that work out of their computer that live there. It's just the Americans that are not moving don't know. They have no idea of all those communications, and I feel like media just doesn't inform the truth. So it's just confusion, like, people have that. But then I have people that I met before that I would have never gone to Mexico City, that I've been praising about Mexico City, and now they're like FaceTiming, oh my God, we're balling out. Like, if you go to Nobu in Malibu and you have 9 waiters and serving you the sashimi and all this stuff, if you go to Mexico to a normal restaurant, you'll have that service for 20% of what Nobu charges. I love Nobu, but you're like, oh my God. Or like, if you go in South of France and you go to like a Michelin star restaurant, you're going to spend $3,000. Here, you're probably going to spend $1,000 on a place. Like, it's just so elevated. And this is why a lot of people, instead of going, don't get me wrong, if I could, I would go to Europe every year. But like, it's a short flight. It's incredible. It's not a Mexico commercial. I'm just saying, like, the way you eat and the living and the levels of creativity, like the energy of all the world is right there right now. So I'm just happy for my friends and people that own business there. And yes, I think it's great because it's becoming like a mecca of lifestyle. Like, there were so many emerging streetwear brands that I met, owners of people that make one-of-one pieces, designers, all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
So I think it's happening. It's happening what happened in Tokyo in the 90s over there.
Okay.
That's the way I can describe it.
Okay.
But it's scary to talk about it because I don't want to get into like political stuff,
I hear you. I think that what's happening now is scary and there's a lot of friction, but to me it's indicative of the future. The future is what it was before the Trump administration. This is a blip on the map. The future is going to be, I think, more and more cross-integration between our cultures. More and more. And I think the more that it happens on both sides, I think the better for both countries, for both cultures. It's funny because it's a step farther in the dream of globalization, which happened, under Obama, the push for globalization, which ended up not really benefiting a lot of people outside of first world countries. It really doesn't benefit other countries. But it seems like there could be something. I remember going in between the United States and Canada used to be easier. Like that used to be way easier. And now it's like you get to the Canada side and like they're all about I went out with my homie from Colombia. They took us out of the car and put us between glass and shit. And I was like, what is this?
Cooper, and I was in Mexico. They didn't even ask me for anything.
Okay, back in the day. Yeah.
That Trump has truly, I think he means well. It's just, I don't think that he has the vision to see the other parts or cares.
Well, he doesn't have a vision of the future. And I think that's very important for a leader in the 21st century. Because I think typically politics deal with what's happening now. It's pretty much all you can do is what's happening now. It's all we have the capacity to deal with. But the new brand of leader, you kind of have to be in with things like global warming and all this crap. Your mind has to be somewhat in the future too, you know?
America on the map, of course, obviously other stuff, but one of the things that put America on the map is the culture.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see that, of course, Mexico and China they've had culture and cultural things for hundreds of years, but we were leaders in culture and lifestyle. Everybody, even now, everybody looks at America for everything. Even in Mexico, America influences everything. But right now, it's so stale. New York, it seems to be doing okay. But even Miami's doing great. I think Miami's probably the coolest place in,
I love Miami.
It's just a lot of good energy.
Yeah.
You get to LA and it's stale because you see zombies and all this shit and you're like, fuck.
But you know what? Okay,
see this in Mexico City. Or why don't I see this, why is it in LA?
I think personally that LA is like the most American. It's like the epicenter of the American identity. The American identity is this you ever heard of rugged individualism? It's just a term. I forget who coined it, but rugged individualism, like the life you live is all about yourself. And it's not necessarily it's narcissist or egocentric, although it kind of is egocentric, but it's all about how you see yourself within the system. That's why we're so different than communism. That's why the minute the C word comes up here, everybody shivers, because it's the exact opposite of our identity. Hey, for better or worse. And I think part of that identity is like when you're like 90, you don't live with your family. Your family's trying to put you in a retirement home because it's all about the individual and satisfying the individual's needs in America. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the idea is that it's a melting pot. When you come here, whatever your culture is, you're supposed to kind of leave that culture behind. My last name is originally Silvestri. I mean, it's very telling that they turned it to Sylvester just to fit into the Germanic dominant population of the United States, which, by the way, is the largest ethnicity still. But I think that overall, this culture does not prioritize family, does not prioritize cohesiveness. And I think LA is the epicenter of the United States culturally and in many ways. And that's why you see people on their own, strung out on a sidewalk. It's like, yo, where's their brother? Where's their mother? Where is somebody who's looking out for this guy, And you have like tens and tens of hundreds of thousands of them. It's a shame. It's a crying shame. But I think it all comes down to culture and tradition. And I think the United States might be a leader in pop culture, but there's no cohesion. Yeah.
And every time I say that, they're like, we love our family. And I'm like, yeah, but like there's like a family support. Like it's just different. I mean, your family's Italian. It's more like that,
Yes.
I think everybody loves their family. I'm just saying, when you come here like me, I migrated from my family and I'm here by myself. You become kind of like independent and you become ruthless and you become focused on business and the American dream and the hustle, and then you start blowing through doors that you being sensitive to those things. And most of the people that got to this country like me have those feelings, of survival. And some of them have, different sensibilities, and some people do some crazy stuff more than me. But anyways, it's what it is. And I'm not trying to leave LA. I love LA. I want to build culture and do cool things, even on the lowest, And to be fair, I think it's even getting better. Like 6 months ago, a year ago, I think we're getting some.
Well, and the truth of the matter is too, man, like this is the time now when things can actually happen. And
Most creative.
yes. So for instance, I've been texting you. I'll see. So like sidebar here, Miggy really put me on big time to Shepard Fairey. I'd always known Shepard Fairey, but just through your experiences with him and his artwork and obviously buying some work off of you, like I'm really in tune to Shepard Fairey now. And I'm starting to see, you see my text, I see his prints everywhere around town. And I won't just see his prints. I'll see other people who are doing really cool, conceptually interesting, visually dope prints. And they're just throwing them up on buildings. And it's just avant-garde. It's, yes.
Creativeness is starting to come out.
For the sake of it, you don't see, like, I'll see stuff up I used to see stuff up and there'd be like a fucking barcode or scanning.
Shepard Fairey, like, there's new people.
That's what I mean.
Like, really, like getting out of the shells. Like, have you driven and you seen those buildings with the graffiti and shit?
That's my favorite thing. That is one of the most impressive feats of street culture ever. And like, some people pass.
I mean, look, imagine owning that shit and
yeah, but they left. No, the owners abandoned it. They're, I believe, Chinese. They abandoned it. It's actually, LA doesn't know what to fucking do with it.
Like, I drive by it and I drool. Like, and
Super Chief Gallery did a show on that. You know that? They did a whole show on the motherfuckers who like parachuted out of there and like.
But that's like a sign of the city being alive. Like it's really epic.
It is. I think it's one of the most beautiful living, breathing art pieces in the modern world. It's a fucking skyscraper, and it's probably just going to sit there for decades. It's 4 of them, right? It's 4 of them. It's not just one. It's 4 of them. They're all bombed out, and they're just going to sit there, and it's going to be beautiful. I hope so, too.
Hopefully it becomes a thing, like a cultural, like whatever. Downtown LA, it's becoming, like, I used to have to want to be here because all the cool kids, whatever. I think there's been so much drama in this neighborhood and the prices haven't gone down. Dude, all the area downtown, I go eat to a bunch of really cool restaurants now, even taco trucks, that we should probably...
You talking about the Arts District? Or?
Yeah, Arts District and downtown in general, the Garmento, like the where all the clothing is made. Before you would just go to consume, to buy stuff, to make your shit. Now, all the cool kids are running around, have the craziest, coolest outfits. They look like they're going to go out, and they're literally...
They look like they just got off the plane from Soho, to be honest with you. They literally took a private jet from Soho.
See, because you would never see that in downtown. Like, in those areas, And I feel like it has more energy. I feel like this area, like Beverly Hills, and now there's just people with smoothies wearing leggings,
Yeah, no, I agree. But again, within that, there is the ability for the frustration to build and turn into something actually super dope, So I think it's a time where cool things can happen. Whether or not they will, I don't know. But in LA, the good thing is a couple things. We don't live in a police state. We don't live in a surveillance state. There's things that are still working out for us as artists, as people of the streets, And I think that if we take advantage of being outside, particularly right now, something beautiful can happen, But I do think that it still takes some people to fucking command the situation. I'm hoping that we can get some parties popping here and shit, because I think...
Look, I feel like I have the responsibility, by being in this neighborhood for so long, to start bringing new designers, creating an event, having a space where we could show art and music and, like, because that's what it was all about. And I keep waiting for people to do it. And I'm like, okay, no one's done it. We're the middle of the summer. No one's done it. So we're going to do it. It starts in a couple of days.
All right. So aside from like what's popping around here and what's happening at the shop, you just came back from ComicCon in San Diego, which was cool. What was going on down there?
Kids, man. There's so many kids like into like manga and like a lot of like collectibles. I mean, I went because ThrillJoy is it's my friend's MD's company, and Brian Mariotti is the creative director and owner too of ThrillJoy. He used to do Funko, and it's really interesting. They're making a company of toys, of collectibles, but they're making them limited edition, and they have surprise, really low number, like chase collectibles that are like one of one, and they're very really interesting stuff. They have codes on the toys, and they're all of it's collectible. They're very exclusive. They were sold out.
Was Pudgy Penguins down there? Did you see a Pudgy Penguins booth?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, because
it was just so crazy. But the energy in San Diego is crazy too. The city has grown. A lot of people from San Francisco seem to move there, and I'm kind of liking San Diego more than ever now.
San Diego is sweet.
It's really cool, and there's a lot of art galleries and stuff. But anyways, ThrillJoy is actually really cool. We're gonna try to take ThrillJoy to Mexico and have a release, like a Mexico release there.
Or are you trying to? Is ThrillJoy to be more integrated into Rcnstrct, or is it that you mainly are the distributor or the retail provider?
I mean, I'm just friends with MD.
Okay.
And he's a partner in it, and he's the manufacturer. So I help MD with multiple projects, and he just invited me as a friend, you know?
So you're saying that you think...
my fingers on... I'll have my nose in there, but I truly don't. You know, I just like it. And it's my friends, you know?
Do you think that, you mentioned a lot of kids. So this is a topic me and you always talk about. This collectible thing, this is not dying. This thing is getting bigger than ever, you think? Vinyl, the calls world, right? Like everything that's wrapped under...
world, but I feel like kids want the new things. They want...
You think calls is kind of like seen as a bit of another generation to a 20-year-old?
Because he's an incredible artist, and his art's always going to be more, just like Futura or Murakami. It's just kids want to see new things, you know? I'm not worried about Brian and all these guys. They're legends, you know? But I think that right now the energy is in new up-and-coming designers, new collectibles, like, even my friend Rodrigo from Mexico, he's like blowing up because he's like...
That's his, right? Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So sick.
He's doing
so
really
sick.
well. Like, he's getting true energy just from kids, you know? And it's good to see, because for a while it's been the same 30 artists just making more product, calling it a collaboration, another shoe. And, you know, I think now kids got smarter and they want something more limited, something more special from different people, you know?
That's cool. I like hearing that, because you obviously know that I've been getting into this world. All the worlds I've been getting into in terms of collecting, I also feel like at the same time are dying, from retro video games to vinyl. But it's great to hear from your perspective that it seems like there's a renewed interest. Maybe when there's new artistic infusion in something, that's when these things come back. Like the retro video games, the NES games, they had a big burst of relevance when they started making the home brews. Do you know the home brews? It's like people just making their own limited 100 games, and they program the game themselves for NES. They made it themselves. It's called homebrew, and they'll sell for like $100 a pop, and they're super limited, right? They're more limited than the original games. They're more limited than a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, you know? And it's interesting with the Sofubi and the collectibles, because I buy a lot direct from people, artists from like Japan and China that have no followers, no nothing, you know?
But it's like an underground scene.
Dude, it's underground, and they made like 7 of them. And I'm like, yo, let me get 2, you know? And now I got 2 of the 7. And like, they're dope. They're these dope pieces, because you know what? They're over there. They're getting funky with the designs, dude. They're getting funky.
Too. Like I saw some guy that was doing one of my friends is doing videos in like video games out of AI, and they just add so many deepness. Like, you know, AI is not to a point that you know it's AI, but the things that they're able to do are incredible, man. Like, it's unbelievable.
I know. I just did the whole thing for the Pleasures Daft Punk thing. That was all AI on the wall.
No way.
That projection, all the landscapes and everything, that was all...
That was amazing.
AI.
It was amazing. You guys did it in Paris too, right?
Paris, yes. That was a smaller, more intimate setting, but I think it actually came out very dope as well. really cool story. So like, and this all came about, right, basically because, you know, you mentioned media pollution and I had that direct connection to them. And so media pollution made the LA installation, which obviously everybody loved. Like a media pollution installation is a guaranteed like 1,000 social media posts. They just own every freaking old school monitor in LA. Yes. They have partners in France. It's so incredible that like, it's such a niche thing. I being the media pollution guy, like Brian, I collect old school monitors, right? And before you know it, you have a warehouse in East LA filled with them. And then somebody's like, yo, have you ever thought of like making installations? Like that's literally their story.
To the Modernica warehouse years ago, because my friend worked there, then all the gadgets, all the RAMs, plastic radios, screens, it was crazy. And I think they went out of business and it started selling. And dude, you should have seen all the stuff they had there, all the plastic stuff that I love, and a lot of electronics from all these movies, you know, from like sci-fi and everything. I'm glad these guys probably ended up having a lot of it.
And they have these partners in Paris that pretty much are them, but the French version. And Vlad from Pleasures, connected with them, and they set up a very similar installation out there.
It's so sad. We were gonna take Pleasures, the Daft Punk thing, to Mexico City in the museum, and it's just they had so many RSVPs, and we had the Diablo Stadium loaned to us to like do a press release, and we had a party after party, and we had like a cool like it was gonna be epic. And at the end of the thing, it didn't work out. But you guys killed it, and the ones here in LA, congrats for that, man.
No, thank you. And obviously, Pleasures, they're small, they're an intimate team, but they're pretty like they're pretty good. Like they're killers, yeah. Like so,
a great team.
I was super impressed.
To even do a collaboration with that punk is crazy.
Yes,
like just to even achieve that.
Yes,
it's crazy.
And you saw the collectibles they had, the bookends and the dartboard. It's very interesting.
But so we're doing some pieces for Ford again this year. Ooh. In Alaska, we're doing some tech jackets and stuff.
Wait, they're going to Alaska?
They're going like with the Broncos and all this like adventure team or whatever it's called, and we're doing some tech clothing for them.
Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be similar to the ComplexCon pieces where they're
going to be in Alaska like in crazy weather, so they're gonna. You'll see it. It's exciting.
I want to go. I went to Alaska 2 years ago, actually. Did a big-ass road trip there. I just shot, like, tons of VHS tapes. Just fucking loaded up on VHS and just fucking drove that whole... I was going to say country, because it's bigger than a fucking country. I drove that whole thing in, like, 7 days, dude. I got neck arthritis after it. Like, oh, dude, I got 20 tapes, an hour and a half long.
I'd love to, though. I'm just too cold. I'm scared.
No, in the summer, it's amazing.
I was going to tell you that I went to this thing for Ford. They have this new pickup truck called the Lobo, which is a small pickup truck that has an 8-cylinder. So all my people are going to want those low ride.
So it's like the size of like a Tacoma almost.
It's like a medium size or small pickup, but it has that 8-cylinder motor. So it's going to be...
Are they going to be doing takeovers on the streets out here with fucking spinning them out?